Alright, so you might notice something a little bit different about me today. I got hoses. It's because I don't have my probes. I actually left them at a job yesterday, so the other tech texted me, hey, did you leave your probes over here? Sure enough did. So always have a backup set of manifolds, and today I figured I'm doing a maintenance. Why not show you guys how to properly use manifolds? I know it's simple, maybe hook it up, call it a day, but here's the thing. A lot of technicians are doing it wrong. I'm gonna show you why. So the biggest problem isn't necessarily using the manifolds, it's how to use the manifolds. Because what I've noticed is a lot of refrigerant gets lost when you use these hoses. One thing I hate about manifolds is how clunky they are. They just take up so much space and are such a pain in the ass, in my opinion, that probes just save so much freaking time. And if you are using manifolds, I would recommend at least using a digital set for the accuracy. I use this Hilmor set to go along with these CPS core depressing hoses. So what I really like about the CPSs is they have these valve depressors right here. That way you're going to mitigate the refrigerant loss when you're putting these on. And then you can just use the big depressor core right at the end. It just gives you a bigger surface area to put these right onto the ports. Now that we're completely hooked up, we got our hoses in. I don't have them depressed quite yet. We're gonna go ahead and power on our manifold. I have our ports here closed off as well. As you can see, we're reading 0 pressure, okay? So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna depress these bad boys in. And it's got a nice positive stop on these. I'm just thankful right now, even though it's raining and everything like that, that I have stuff to keep me dry, like my Camel City Mill socks. Shut it. Shut your mouth. Don't tell me you guys don't know about Camel City Mill. Well, lucky for you guys, they're today's video sponsor. Camel City Mill is gearing up for their biggest sale of the year. The 4th of July, 250th anniversary of this great nation, and Camel City Mill, of course, because their products are sourced and made right here in America. That's right, they're made in North Carolina with that moisture wicking Dan Merino wool, the material we have all learned to love. They got those reinforced toes, reinforced heels. These bad boys are bringing in a 10-year warranty. Hell, this system right here probably only has a 5-year warranty because it was done by one of them private equity companies and it was never registered. So you're already ahead of the game just by purchasing some Camel City Mill. Now, if you guys go ahead and click the link down below, you're gonna go ahead and save some money. Use my discount code Krauss. I would highly appreciate it if you guys could just tell me in the comments your feedback on those Camel City Mill socks. But now let's get back to my rant about manifolds. As you can see, this system has a little bit of an issue. Looking a little undercharged. It is a Lennox. This was a maintenance, but this could be turning into a service call. This is a Lennox, so obviously, you know, it's probably leaking somewhere, more likely the evaporator coil, right? What we're looking at right here is we got our, obviously, our low pressure and our high pressure. So we're selected on our 410. We can see our vapor saturation is extremely low. What's really nice, gives you the vapor sat, liquid stat. So it's really simple to go ahead and see what's going on in here. Since we have our temperature clamps right there, it does have a superheat and subcooling option in here. And that's letting me know, like, the subcool actually looks really good, but that superheat is extremely high. So that's letting me know a few things here. This isn't gonna be a diagnostic video. Again, I'm gonna dive into that a little bit deeper here. We have about 1.5, maybe 2 ounces in each of these hoses, right? So you got to think, as a company that does maintenances, the biggest thing that's going to happen is you're doing these twice a year. Say you got 2 ounces of refrigerant in each of those hoses. That right there is 4 ounces of refrigerant. You do that twice a year, not including the bleed off when you're putting your hoses, you're losing about a half a pound of refrigerant. And then what's going to end up happening is you're going to come back and you're going to say, well, you got a leak in your system. We just need to top it off. You should never have to top off a system. That's the biggest thing I see companies saying out there is, got to top it off. You should never top it off. It's a sealed system. So that means we either got a leak or we got something like this or it's undercharged. So my assumption is, generally speaking, if I can't find a leak in the system, it's going to be the fact that they're bleeding it off, they're losing refrigerant from their hoses, say about half a pound a year, coupled by a few visits over the course of 2-3 years of the system. You're losing a pound, pound and a half, 2 pounds of refrigerant very fast. So what I want to show you guys is how we just properly bleed the refrigerant back into the system so we don't lose any and we save it. Okay, so obviously we have a bigger problem. But what I ended up doing is, like I said, we opened these up so we can test the pressure of this refrigerant, right? So that means now there is refrigerant in these hoses. We got to be able to get that refrigerant back into this system. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and open up this one. So now this one is completely closed off from the system. Once I open it, you'll see we have liquid inside of there, right? You can see it inside the sight glass. I still have my suction on, so we still have our suction wide open. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead, open that up, and bleed the refrigerant back into the system. You see it's nice and flashed off there. We'll close this and open or close this as well, essentially, okay? Now that we did that, we did not lose any refrigerant from this system. We were able to save whatever's in this system, keep it in the system, since again, it is a sealed system. System, you get it. I'm being very repetitive, but this is something I think that is very lost upon technicians in the field. Just do this step. It's gonna go a long way in saving the customer having to top off their refrigerant. You shouldn't have to do it, but there is instances where I do mention that to a customer. This is closed off. We go ahead, we pop this off, there's not gonna be any refrigerant coming out of here. How nice is that, right? Take off our suction side. What's really nice about these is you can just use that big depressor part right there. Look at that. 0 freaking loss. Get yourself a set of these depressors, or they have dedicated depressors you can put right on the valves there. But always bleed your hoses, man. Just don't let that stuff go to waste. I mean, at the cost of refrigerant these days and repairs, man, you're gonna save your customer hundreds, if not thousands of dollars by doing this one technique. And that's the biggest reason I'm not a fan of manifolds, is because they're not utilized properly. So by doing this, you're gonna save time and money. I'm gonna dive in deeper and see what's going on with this system and see there's a restriction up there. That filter could be completely shot. If you guys are big manifold users, let me know down below why you prefer the manifolds over probes. I am just a big believer in probes. But with that being said, guys, let me know what you think down below. Use that technique. I'm sure a lot of you guys are. If you're not, let me know if you learned a little something. With that being said, smash the like button, consider subscribing. All of my subscribers, y'all already know I appreciate y'all, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Later.